Hey, what's up? It's Chris, Patriot RC, back with you. As I was telling you about, I was going to come by and talk to you about these shocks. These are the Globact 100 millimeters. They have them in various millimeters. I think it was 90, 95, 100, and 110. These are the 100s. The reviews are probably the highest I've seen as far as Amazon shocks go. These were a 4.8 stars. The one complaint was that the springs were a little too stiff, and you can hear them rubbing on the shock body here. And so they're too stiff for the front of my deadbolt. I think they honestly would be too stiff for any of my trucks. I might do, that's where these go. Here they are. Might do this with these shocks for the front of the deadbolt, maybe, because these springs work pretty darn good. They're too stiff for the front as they sit for the deadbolt, because these springs are kind of stiff, but not as bad as these. I mean, this is one hand, your hand doesn't shake, but if you go and do that, is a lot to get that compressed all the way. So there's no way that would even articulate. Now, again, like I said, I do have them on the back of the deadbolt, because if you lay your shocks over, the springs get weaker, and those are better smooth back there. As you see, they don't even spring back up all the way. Which I would kind of dig that. I moved the non-leaky shocks to the front, so these are the stock deadbolt shocks. At least they haven't leaked yet. So I'm going to get this over on my rocks here in a minute, do some rearranging on the table, and we'll shoot some videos so you can see the articulation of this. But they do a really good job. They're a little stiffer than the front, but not by much, just because they're laid over. Now I can do shock keys and move these laid back and probably be just fine. We'll see. I'm still on the fence about that. I'm kind of liking the way they move right now. So we'll be right back here in just a minute, and we'll see what it looks like moving. Okay, I've kept the body off so we can see what's happening here as far as suspension travel goes. Moves nice and free. Sorry about that. I actually need to lower this just a little bit. I'm sorry. Let's try that right there. We're no longer elevated as over. Yeah, those move nice and smooth. Turn the camera over here. Some shit here. I'm pretty happy with them. And we'll just turn around, right back. And again, this is only, when it was shipped to me, it was only 5.1 pounds, the entire thing, with the controller. So this is a light rig. There's just the brass weights and the wheels. I can't remember how much those were, but this is not a heavy truck at all. This is probably still maybe 6.5 pounds. And everything was, those shocks worked pretty good there on the back. And here I go, not paying attention. We're gonna try and roll this, try to not roll this off my table. Okay, this will be the final one. And like I said, we're just trying to pay attention to the back shocks. That's all I'm really wanting to get some footage of the articulation on that. And you just see they're compressed. So yeah, I'm happy with what they're doing there. Even though I'm stuck because I'm not watching where I'm going. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I think a 4.8 rating on an angle like that, if you got them offset, or laid over, not offset, they work really good. On a just straight up and down, they'd be way too much for this rig. I don't think they would do me any good. The shocks themselves are nice. I don't really care for how the caps fit on them, but there's been no leaks. I've ran these on this table probably 5 or 6 times now, just, you know, trying to get a good view of the articulation and what it does. No leaks to speak of. So I'm gonna go to this last rock here, and we will get back over on the bench. I'll tell you what, those Super Swamper tires are just nice. I really do enjoy those. And we're diffed out. There we go. Alright, let's see you back at the bench. So my final point I was wanting to talk about are a couple little things here. So the springs are stiff. That's, my God, that's got to be an 8 pound, 10 pound spring, 12 pound. I don't know, but it's everything I got to get that squished in my hand. I mean, that it is a lot. So we'll leave that at that. Now, the spring retention cups that go on like so, those do fit. And a bonus is, these are the stock axial. These cups fit, the screws mount. However, the spring is just a little too big for that retention cup, so they won't work. I was going to try stock axial springs on these, but they're like 1 millimeter too small for this diameter. And so the one I tried it on, that's actually on the deadbolt, is scratched all to hell now because the spring was too narrow. However, I've been debating on getting some needle nose pliers in there inside the spring. Now, let's just do that real quick. So I was debating on getting some needle nose inside there and then trying to spread them out like that and stretch them. Might not be a bad idea, and I bet it would work, and those would be good. Now, if you have other springs you can try, they're good shocks for 22 bucks. But like I said, I don't know. My God, that is a stiff ass spring. Again, laid over, it's not bad at all. But again, still, it's a lot of pressure. There is oil inside these, and this will be my final point. So what I was going to say is, I was complaining about the O-ring up here, and then my dumb ass realized that this actually backs down, and the O-ring that is up there is just intended to keep this from backing off once you get it set to where you want. So you can technically get this down as far as you want, move your O-ring down. It does nothing, has nothing to do with sealing the top of your spring or the top of your cap there. It's just spring tension. Don't know what I was thinking, but you know, I looked into getting other springs for this, and the springs are just as expensive. Not this brand, but I mean, just finding a set of springs, at least on Amazon, is just as expensive as trying to find a set of shocks, which I find to be completely ludicrous, because you can go to Lowe's and go in there and find compression and expansion springs, and I'm going to bet you can find something like these, which is where I got these at, and they work great. I've also got these from my WPL Defender, which I think might be suitable for these shocks because they look like they would fit right there. So let's pop those babies off real quick. Here, before we do that, so I was wanting to see what we got here. The diameter of this spring, 16.2526. The length on this, I know they're 100 millimeters, but it's actually 102. So there's that. But let's pop this off of here real quick. Pop that on there. Put the cup back on. Oh, that feels nice. So these are just springs off a WPL Defender. That's pretty bitchin' right there. I'm digging it. It even matches the paint. And I have more of those springs all over the place. So these are going to go on my front of my deadbolt. I am digging it. So yeah, and the deadbolt's original suspension was 95, I believe. I can get the lock back in there. 93.84 is what we got. So we went from 93 to 100, and to be honest with you, can't even tell the difference as far as that goes. But the back shocks are laid down. These are going to be straight up and down. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, we're going to stop the video here, and I'm going to say now I officially really like these shocks. Ditch the springs, find you something softer. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Hang on. Here's my WPL Defender. I've got like 6 sets of these springs, and I don't even know how I got that many. I had one of these caught on fire. They sent me a whole nother one. They didn't have to send it back, so that's probably how I got them. So I got a full set off this, got a full set off the other ones. So where'd the other set come from? Hell, I don't know. But anyway, I've got a bunch of them. So that is that, and I'm gonna get cracking on that because that feels really, really nice. Very plush. It should have a nice little bit of droop in the front, and I'm digging that. So yeah, at 4.8 on Amazon reviews. If it came with these springs, I'd give it a 4.8. That's just good, is what that is. Globact 100 millimeter, actually 102. They had just the right amount of oil in them. Didn't add any, didn't take any away. And those are nice and buttery smooth. And again, they remind me a lot of what is on my Element Gatekeeper with the GT, Gatekeeper suspension system, whatever. The gold ones, just a different color. Yeah, those are nice. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it didn't bore you. Hope it didn't ramble. But those are some good shocks. I like those. Thanks.